morning, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels, and today we're going to be talking about lightning in a bottle. That's right, lightning in a bottle. There once was a poor man who didn't have much in life. He didn't have a wife, he didn't have children, and he didn't have much possessions. And every day he would just go out into the city and go out around the palace to beg. And so he would always tell himself that he wanted a wife. He wanted to at least have a wife at his home, that after a days of begging, he could come home to his wife and she could cook for him and talk to him and pamper him. So he went out into the woods and he cut down a tree. And he took this tree trunk back into his house and he carved it down until he had carved it into a pretty, beautiful, wonderful wife. And so he began to decorate this wooden wife with jewelry and charms and things that were precious to him from around the house. And every day after that, when he would go out to beg, he would always come back to his wooden wife. And he began to love his wooden wife and love that companionship. And his love and the charms on the wooden wife made the wooden wife become a real wife one day. And so once she became a real wife, he was ecstatic and happy, and he felt like anything was possible. And so he lived like this for several days, until one day a slave girl escaped from the palace of the nearby sultan, and she ran into his house to hide. And when she ran into the house of the poor man, she saw the beautiful wife. And so when she went back to the palace, she told the sultan, inside of the house of the beggar, there is a very, very beautiful wife. And so the sultan wanted to see her. He sent his soldiers to get the wife of the beggar and brought her to the palace. When he saw her, her beauty was so magnificent that he said that she would become his wife and he would not give her back to the beggar. The beggar protested, but the sultan would not hear it. So the beggar stood outside of the palace every day and he sang to his wooden wife turned real to give him back his charms and give him back his jewelry, and he would go on and live his life in sorrow. And so the wooden wife finally took off the jewelry because the sultan said that he could give her things worth 10, 20, 30 times more than that, and she gave it back to the beggar. And immediately she turned back into wood. And there was nothing that the sultan nor his wise man nor all of his money could do to make the wooden wife a real wife again. And that's because sometimes a thing is lightning in a bottle, family. You are lightning in a bottle, family. There are things that only you can do. There are things that only you can say. There are places that only you can go. And there are people that only you can reach. There are things inside of you that are only magnificent because they are inside of you. There are things that are magic, things that are special, things that will change the world, that can only exist if you make it happen, family. Just like the poor man with the wooden wife, it was only a real wife because of his love and his attention and his care. Much like with you, family, there are things that will only become a reality when you put your hands into it. Thanks for watching Morning Motivation with Matthew Daniels. Lightning in a bottle. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're great. And you are going to change the world. I just hope I'm still alive to see it, family. I'm out. Good morning.